I told myself I married Ryan for love, but the truth is I married him to be closer to his best friend Jake, and last night when I finally made my move, everything fell apart. They were a package deal from the start. Ryan and Jake, best friends since middle school, roommates through college, still sharing a duplex at 32. When my friend Melissa introduced me to Ryan at her birthday party, I barely noticed him. Nice enough guy, sure. Stable job at an accounting firm, clean fingernails, laughed at my jokes. But it was Jake who made my stomach flip. Jake was everything Ryan wasn't. Where Ryan was predictable, Jake was spontaneous. Where Ryan wore polo shirts, Jake wore vintage band tees that stretched across his chest just right. Ryan talked about tax codes. Jake talked about the motorcycle trip he was planning through South America. "My roommate's around here somewhere," Ryan had said that first night, scanning the party. "You'd like him. Everyone likes Jake." And then there he was, walking in late with a six-pack and an apology, smelling like rain and possibility, dark hair that needed a cut, 3-day stubble, the kind of smile that made you forget your own name. "You must be Hannah," he said when Ryan introduced us. "Ryan texted me about you like 15 times today." "All good things, I hope." "He said you were beautiful and funny." Jake's eyes traveled over me, just quick enough to make me shiver. "He undersold you." Ryan beamed like Jake had given him a gold star. That should have been my first warning. How much Ryan needed Jake's approval. How much we all revolved around Jake like planets around the sun. But I was 28 and tired of dating losers. Ryan was the kind of guy my mom had been pushing me toward for years. And if dating Ryan meant Jake would be around, well, that was just a bonus. A harmless crush. Everyone gets crushes. We fell into a routine fast. Dinners at their duplex, Ryan cooking while Jake told stories. Movie nights on their couch, me in the middle, trying not to notice when Jake's thigh pressed against mine. Sunday football games where I pretended to care about sports just to watch Jake get worked up over bad calls. "You're good for him," Jake told me once when Ryan was in the bathroom. We were 3 months in, at some bar celebrating Ryan's promotion. "He's been happier since you came around." "Yeah?" "Yeah, I was starting to worry he'd die alone with his spreadsheets." "What about you?" The beer made me brave. "No girlfriend?" "I don't really do girlfriends." He said it simple, like a fact. Too complicated. "That's lonely." "Is it?" He looked at me then, really looked at me. Being with the wrong person seems lonelier. I should have heard what he was really saying, should have recognized the warning. Instead, I took it as a challenge. Ryan proposed after a year. Nothing fancy, he wasn't the type. Just got down on one knee in their living room after dinner, Jake watching from the kitchen with an expression I couldn't read. "Yes," I said, because what else could I say? This was the plan, wasn't it? Marry the good guy, build a life, be happy. "Thank God," Ryan laughed, sliding the ring on. "Jake said you might say no." "Why would he think that?" I looked over at Jake, who was suddenly very interested in washing dishes. "No reason," Jake said. "Just thought Hannah might want something more exciting than my boy here." "Jake thinks everyone needs excitement," Ryan said, pulling me close. "Some of us are happy with stability." "Some of us are," Jake agreed, still not looking at me. The wedding was small. My family, his family, some friends. Jake was best man, obviously. He looked devastating in his suit, kept tugging at his tie like it was strangling him. "You sure about this?" he asked while we danced. Ryan was dancing with my mom, completely in his element. "Why does everyone keep asking me that?" "Because you look like you're going to your execution, not your wedding." "Thanks. Every bride wants to hear that." "I'm serious, Hannah. It's not too late to..." "To what? Run away? Break Ryan's heart? Why would I do that?" He spun me out, pulled me back closer than necessary. "Because marrying someone when you're in love with someone else is cruel. To everyone." "I'm not..." "Don't lie to me." His voice was low, urgent. "I'm not blind. Neither is Ryan, no matter what you think. I love Ryan, I insisted. Sure, just not the way you love. Don't, I pulled back. Whatever you're about to say, don't. He looked at me for a long moment. I'm moving out. Found a place across town. Figured you newlyweds need space. Ryan didn't mention... I haven't told him yet. Wedding gift, I guess. The duplex to yourselves. And just like that, the thing I'd been counting on, Jake's constant presence, evaporated. He moved out 2 weeks after the wedding. Ryan was devastated. 20 years we've lived together, he said, helping Jake load boxes. End of an era. You've got Hannah now, Jake said, not looking at me. You don't need me. But he was wrong. We both needed him. Ryan needed his best friend, and I needed to stop thinking about what I needed. Jake came around less after he moved out. Weekly dinners became monthly. Texts got shorter. When he did show up, he was different, distant, polite. Like I was just his best friend's wife, not someone he'd spent a year sharing looks with across crowded rooms. I threw myself into being a good wife, decorated the house, learned Ryan's favorite meals, initiated sex regularly, closing my eyes and thinking about... No, I didn't think about Jake during sex. Not at first. That came later, when the reality of my choice settled in like fog. 6 months into marriage, Ryan had to travel for work. A conference in Dallas. 4 days. You'll be okay alone? He asked, packing his precisely folded shirts. I'm a grown woman, Ryan. I think I can handle it. I know, it's just the first time we've been apart since the wedding. I'll be fine. Might have Melissa over for wine. What I actually did was text Jake. Ryan's in Dallas. Want to grab dinner? I'm going stir-crazy. He read it immediately. Took 20 minutes to respond. Not a good idea. Why? We're friends, aren't we? Are we? Don't be dramatic. It's just dinner. With my best friend's wife while he's out of town. So? So I'm not that guy, Hannah. But he was, because he showed up anyway. 7 o'clock, looking like Sin in jeans and a black Henley, holding takeout from our favorite Thai place. This is a bad idea, he said instead of hello. It's pad Thai, not an affair. The word hung between us like a dare. We ate on the couch, TV on for background noise, both of us pretending this was normal. Just friends having dinner. Nothing inappropriate about the way I'd changed clothes 3 times. Nothing wrong with how he kept looking at my mouth when I talked. How's the new place? I asked. Fine, quiet. You lonely? Sometimes. He set down his food. Hannah, why am I here? I told you I was going crazy alone. Bullshit. Why am I really here? I couldn't answer, couldn't say the truth, that I'd thought about him every day since he moved out. That sex with Ryan felt like betrayal because I had to imagine Jake to get through it. That I'd made a terrible mistake but didn't know how to fix it. I should go, he said. Don't. Hannah, I know, okay? I know this is fucked up. I know I'm a terrible person, but I can't stop thinking about you. You're married to my best friend. You think I don't know that? You think that doesn't eat me alive every single day? He stood up, ran his hands through his hair. This is exactly why I moved out. Why I've been staying away. So you feel it too. Of course I fucking feel it. I've felt it since Ryan introduced us, but he saw you first. He called dibs like we were fucking 12 and I let him. Dibs? I'm not a baseball card, Jake. No, you're the woman who married him to be close to me. The truth of it hit like cold water. That's not... Don't lie. Not about this. You don't love Ryan. You never have. I do love him. Like a brother. Like a friend. Not like a husband. And what about you? I stood too, angry now. How do you love me? I don't. He moved toward the door. I won't let myself. Coward. Yeah, probably. But at least I'm not cruel. Cruel? How am I cruel? You let him think you love him. You fake it every day in every way. You think that's kind? Kinder than breaking his heart? Is it? Because from where I'm standing, you're just delaying the inevitable. He left then, and I spent the rest of Ryan's trip in bed, alternating between tears and rage. At Jake for being right. At myself for being wrong. At the whole mess I'd created by thinking I could have my cake and eat it too. When Ryan came home, he found me deep cleaning the kitchen at midnight. "Honey, everything okay?" "Fine, just couldn't sleep." "Miss me that much?" He wrapped his arms around me from behind, and I tried not to stiffen. "Something like that." That night, he initiated sex for the first time in weeks. I went through the motions, made the right sounds, tried to focus on my husband. But when I closed my eyes, it was Jake's face I saw. Jake's hands I imagined. Jake's name I had to bite back. "I love you," Ryan whispered after. "Love you too," I lied, hating myself more with each word. Things got worse before they exploded. I started picking fights with Ryan about nothing. He left dishes in the sink. He worked too late. He was too predictable, too boring, too... not Jake. "What's gotten into you?" he asked after another pointless argument about throw pillows. "You've been on edge for months." "Maybe I'm just tired of pretending everything's perfect." "Who's pretending? I thought we were happy." Were we? Was he? How could he not see that his wife was slowly losing her mind? Jake avoided us for 2 months after that night. Declined dinner invitations. Missed Ryan's birthday party. Always had an excuse. Work, dates, bike needed fixing. "I don't get it," Ryan said. 20 years of friendship and now he's too busy to grab a beer? "People grow apart," I said, the irony bitter in my mouth. "Not us. Not me and Jake." But Jake couldn't avoid Thanksgiving. Ryan's mom insisted, and Jake had been part of their family too long to say no. He showed up late, brought wine, avoided eye contact with me completely. I drank too much. Started with wine at noon, moved to cocktails by 3. By the time we sat down to dinner, the room was soft around the edges and my filter was gone. "Jake, how's your love life?" Ryan's mom asked, passing the green beans. "Any nice girls?" "You know me, Mrs. Patterson, eternal bachelor." "Such a waste. You'd make someone a wonderful husband." "Not everyone's meant for marriage," Jake said, glancing at me for the first time all day. "Some people know themselves better than that." "What's that supposed to mean?" The words came out sharper than I intended. "Nothing. Just that marriage isn't for everyone." "But it's for Ryan, right? Ryan's the marrying type?" "Hannah," Ryan warned. "No, I'm curious. What makes someone the marrying type, Jake?" "I don't know. Wanting it, I guess. Being honest about what you need." "Honest, right, because you're so honest." "More than some people." "Okay, what's happening here?" Ryan looked between us. "Did you two have a fight or something?" "Ask your wife," Jake said quietly. "I'm asking both of you." I stood up, swaying slightly. "I need air." "Hannah!" "I'm fine, just give me a minute." I made it to the back porch before Jake followed. Because of course he did. We were magnets, always pulled together even when we tried to stay apart. "You're drunk," he said. "And you're a coward." "We've established that. Why won't you fight for me?" The question exploded out of me. "If you feel what I feel, why won't you—" "Because I love him." He said it simple, like it explained everything. "Ryan, I love him more than I want you. And that's saying something, because I want you so bad it's killing me." "Jake." "But I won't do it. I won't be the guy who sleeps with his best friend's wife. I won't be the reason his marriage fails." "It's already failing." "Then that's on you, not me." I kissed him. Stupid, drunk, desperate. Pushed him against the side of the house and kissed him like my life depended on it. For a second, just a second, he kissed me back. His hands in my hair, his body pressing me against the wall, the heat I'd been imagining for 2 years finally real. Then he pushed me away. No. Jake, please. I said no. I'll leave him, tonight, right now. I'll tell him everything and we can what? Run off together? Live happily ever after? You think I want to build a relationship on my best friend's broken heart? So what, we just suffer? Pretend this doesn't exist? Or you could try actually loving your husband. I can't. It came out as a sob. I've tried. God, I've tried, but every time he touches me, I think of you. Every time he says he loves me, I wish it was you. I'm going insane, Jake. That's not my problem, isn't it? You could have said something 2 years ago, before I married him. You could have what? Stolen you from him? Ruined a 20-year friendship for a girl? I'm not just a girl. No, he agreed. You're my best friend's wife, and you need to start acting like it. He went inside. I stayed on the porch, crying and drunk and lost. When I finally went back in, Jake was gone. Ryan found me in the bathroom, splashing cold water on my face. You okay? Jake said you weren't feeling well. What else did Jake say? That he had to go, family emergency or something. I laughed, bitter and broken. Right, emergency. Hannah, what's going on? And don't say nothing. Something's been off for months. This was it. The moment to tell the truth, to confess that I'd married him under false pretenses, that I was in love with his best friend, that our whole life was built on a lie. I think I need help, I said instead. Therapy or something. I'm not happy. Okay. He pulled me close, and I tried not to hate the comfort of it. We'll figure it out, together. But we wouldn't. Because Jake, true to his word, loved Ryan more than he wanted me. Jake told him everything 3 days later. I was at work when Ryan called, his voice strange and flat. Come home now. What's wrong? Is everything... Just come home, Hannah. I knew before I walked in. Saw it in how he sat at the kitchen table, hands folded like he was praying. Felt it in the air, thick with betrayal and broken trust. Jake came by, he said without preamble. Told me about Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving. Ryan, is it true, what he said? What did he say? That you've been in love with him since we met, that you married me to be close to him, that you kissed him. Each word was a nail in the coffin of our marriage. It's not that simple. It's a yes or no question, Hannah. Did you marry me to be close to Jake? The lie was right there, ready. I could deny it. Make Jake the bad guy. Save my marriage and destroy their friendship. It would be easy. Yes. He flinched like I'd hit him. And the kiss? I was drunk. It meant nothing. To who? To you or to him? Does it matter? I think it matters a lot. My wife kissed my best friend. My best friend who, by the way, also told me you've been thinking about him when we... He couldn't finish. How could he know that? Because he knows you, better than I do, apparently. That's not true, isn't it? He knew you were unhappy. He knew you didn't love me. He knew to stay away. His voice cracked. Everyone knew but me. I do love you. Stop. He held up his hand. Just stop. Jake already told me you'd say that you'd try to convince yourself and me that there are different kinds of love, that what we have is enough. It could be. Could it? Could you honestly spend the rest of your life with me, knowing he's out there? Could you have my children and not wonder what they'd look like with his eyes? Could you grow old with me and not regret it? I wanted to say yes, wanted to be the kind of person who could choose stability over passion, friendship over desire. But I'd already wasted 2 years of his life. I couldn't waste any more. No. He nodded like he'd expected it. Jake's moving to Portland. His company offered him a transfer and he's taking it. Said we both need space to figure out our lives without him in the middle. He's leaving? That bothers you more than losing me, doesn't it? That's not, Your face, Hannah. Your face when I said he's leaving versus your face when you realized I knew. You don't even see it. He was right. Even now, my first thought was about Jake leaving, not my marriage ending. I'll pack some things, I said. Stay with Melissa. The house is yours for 30 days. I'll be at my parents' after that. He shrugged. Lawyers, I guess. Ryan, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt me. Maybe not, but you meant to marry me for the wrong reasons. You meant to lie every day. You meant to use me. I didn't use you. What would you call it? You wanted Jake, couldn't have him, so you took me instead, like a consolation prize. Except I didn't know I was competing. You weren't competing. We never... I know. He made that very clear. Said he'd never touch you because you were mine. He laughed, bitter. Funny thing is, you were never mine. Not really. He left that night. No drama, no screaming, no thrown objects. Just grabbed a bag and walked out of the house we'd bought together, leaving me with the furniture we'd picked and the life we'd built on lies. Melissa came over with wine and ice cream, ready to bash Ryan like a good friend should, but I couldn't let her. He didn't do anything wrong, I said. This is all on me. Bullshit. It takes two to... No, Mel. I married him knowing I was in love with someone else. What kind of person does that? A confused person? A scared person? Hannah, you're human. I'm selfish. There's a difference. So what happens now? Now I get divorced at 30, move back in with my parents probably, try to figure out who I am when I'm not trying to be someone's wife. And Jake? Jake's moving to Portland. Without even trying after all this? He was right to tell Ryan, right to leave. We'd never be happy knowing what we'd done to him. But you love each other. Sometimes that's not enough. And it wasn't. Love wasn't enough to erase betrayal, wasn't enough to build a future on someone else's pain, wasn't enough to justify what I'd done. The divorce was quick, uncontested. Ryan gave me more than I deserved, probably just to be done with me faster. We split everything down the middle, sold the house, divided friends like assets. Most chose him. I didn't blame them. You doing okay? My mom asked for the 100th time. I'd moved back home, 30 years old and sleeping in my childhood bed under boy band posters I'd never taken down. I'm fine. You're not fine. You're barely eating. You don't go out. This isn't healthy. I ruined a good man's life, Mom. I don't deserve to be healthy. Oh, stop being so dramatic. People get divorced all the time. Not for this reason. She didn't know the real reason. Nobody did except Ryan, Jake, and me. Everyone else got the grew apart story. It was kinder than the truth. Jake left for Portland without saying goodbye. I found out from social media, a picture someone tagged him in at his going away party. He looked good. Happy, even. Like confession had freed him from the weight we'd both been carrying. I wrote him a letter, old-fashioned, on actual paper. Spent a week finding the right words. Jake, I know you'll probably throw this away without reading it, but I need to say this. Thank you for telling Ryan. Thank you for being the person I couldn't be. Thank you for loving him more than you wanted me. I'm sorry I put you in that position. Sorry I made you carry my secret. Sorry I tried to make you betray the best friend you've ever had. I hope Portland is everything you need it to be. I hope you find someone who isn't married to your best friend. I hope you're happy. I loved you wrong, but I did love you. Hannah. I never sent it. What was the point? He'd made his choice. The right choice, the honorable choice. Everything I'd been incapable of. 6 months after the divorce, I ran into Ryan at the grocery store. Produce section. Him holding avocados like they might explode. He looked good. Lighter somehow, like I'd been a weight he'd finally set down. Hannah. Not angry, just surprised. Hi, how are you? Good, you? Surviving. Your mom said you moved back home. Temporarily. Just until I figure things out. Good, that's good. We stood there, 2 people who'd shared a bed and a life, and absolutely nothing real. I'm seeing someone. he said suddenly. Didn't want you to hear it from someone else. Oh, that's great, really. Her name's Amy, teaches with me. She's very straightforward. The opposite of me, he meant. Someone who said what she meant and meant what she said. I'm happy for you. Are you? Yes, you deserve someone who loves you the way you love them. Yeah, I do. He set down the avocados. For what it's worth, I don't hate you. I did for a while, but now I just feel sorry for you. Thanks? I mean it. You had everything. A good marriage, a nice house, someone who genuinely loved you, and you threw it away for a fantasy. It wasn't a fantasy. Wasn't it? You loved the idea of Jake, the excitement of wanting someone you couldn't have. But if you'd gotten him, if he'd chosen you over me, would it have lasted? Or would you have gotten bored with him too? I wanted to argue, but couldn't, because I'd wondered the same thing late at night, whether the appeal of Jake was just that he was forbidden, whether I was capable of loving anyone who actually loved me back. I guess we'll never know, I said. No, we won't. He grabbed his cart. Take care, Hannah. You too. I watched him walk away, this good man I'd married for bad reasons. In another life, maybe I could have loved him right, but in this life, I'd used him as a bridge to someone else, and we'd all fallen into the water. A year later, I finally got my own apartment, started therapy, began the slow work of figuring out who I was when I wasn't performing for anyone. It was harder than I'd expected. I'd spent so long being who I thought others wanted that I'd lost track of who I actually was. Why do you think you fixated on Jake? My therapist asked. Because he was unattainable. Is that all? Because with him I never had to be real. It was all fantasy, all projection. I could imagine him being perfect because I never had to deal with his dirty socks, or his bad moods, or his actual human flaws. And Ryan? Ryan was real, too real, every day, in my face with his realness, his goodness, his assumption that I was good too. You are good. Good people don't marry someone to get closer to someone else. Hurt people do that, confused people, people who don't know themselves yet. I'm 31. When do I get to stop using confusion as an excuse? When you stop being confused. Jake stayed in Portland. Last I heard, he was dating someone, a teacher like Amy, like everyone healthy dated, people with normal jobs and normal lives who didn't construct elaborate lies to get what they wanted. I dated too, eventually. Honestly, this time. I'm divorced because I was in love with my husband's best friend, I'd say on first dates, watching them process that information. Most didn't call for a second date. The ones who did were usually carrying their own damage, their own stories of hearts broken and lives upended. Do you still love him? One guy asked. The friend? I don't know if I ever really loved him, I admitted. I loved the idea of him, the dream of him. But I never got to know the real him, never fought with him about bills or watched him sick with the flu or any of the unglamorous things that make up actual love. That's sad. Yeah, the whole thing is sad. But sad was better than cruel. Sad was better than continuing to lie to a good man who deserved truth. Sad was better than building a life on someone else's ignorance. I kept the letter I never sent to Jake, not out of hope, but as a reminder of who I'd been, who I'd hurt, who I was trying not to be anymore. Sometimes I wondered what would have happened if Jake had said yes that night on the porch, if he'd chosen me over Ryan. Would we have run away together? Built a life on the ashes of their friendship? Been happy? Or would the guilt have poisoned us? Would we have looked at each other and seen only betrayal? Would the very thing that brought us together have torn us apart? I'd never know. That was my punishment, my penance. To wonder forever about a road I'd forced closed through my own selfishness. But maybe that was the lesson, that some roads shouldn't be traveled, some loves shouldn't be pursued, some truths shouldn't be built on lies. I married Ryan to be close to Jake. I got exactly what I wanted: proximity to my obsession. And in getting what I wanted, I lost everything that mattered. Be careful what you wish for. It might come true, and when it does, you might discover it was never what you wanted at all.